Hi, this is Érika from Small Robot Studio with a quick tutorial on Nomad Sculpt, a 3D sculpting app for tablet users. In this video, we'll look into the project menu, the one that will let us do basic operations like opening a new scene. You'll find the icon shaped as a folder on the top. The first section is very straightforward. We have a preview showing all the objects in the scene and the usual save, save as, open, etc. Saving is not automatic like in apps such as Procreate. You gotta make sure that you constantly do so. We have the autosave reminder, which will bring a pop-up reminder every X amount of minutes. With the slider, you can decide the frequency. For the daredevils out there, you can deactivate it with this checkbox. By the way, to find the files on an iPad, open the Nomad folder inside the Files app and go to Projects. If you move these files out of this folder, when you try to open them again in Nomad, they won't show up. Let's say I want to bring all the subtools or the objects of another Nomad file into the scene that I'm working on. I'll tap on the Add button and select the project that I want to bring in. You can import meshes done in ZBrush, Maya, or any other 3D softwares as long as they are in OBJ, GIF, or STL format. If we tap on Open, Nomad will create a new scene and throw in the imported meshes. By tapping on Add, you will add to your current scene the imported objects. If you are using an iPad and you receive a file from AirDrop, you can choose to send it directly to Nomad in a new scene. When importing multiple meshes, they will be merged in one subtool or object. To separate them, go into the Scene menu on the very top and tap on the three dots inside the object and then select Separate. Now, every piece is independent. Now, for exporting, you can choose between the same file formats as before. If you want to send the Nomad project file into a computer or another iPad, you will have to do it through the Files app, but note that this format only works inside this app. To export this into other softwares, the developer recommends GIF because it is the most complete export. Layers will be exported as morphs. We can also export normals, even though Nomad doesn't use them, the vertex colors, and the special paint, like roughness and metalness. If you don't want any of this to be exported, deactivate the checks. If you want to export only parts of your scene, select the desired objects and check Export Selection Only. Tap on Export and we will get the usual tablet sharing options. If we export in OBJ, we will keep the vertex paint, but we will lose the layers and the extra paint information. When in doubt, use OBJ, because this is the most widely supported format. STL is widely used for 3D painting. It won't carry any extra information aside from your mesh. To flatten down what we see on the screen into a PNG image, we will use the next section, Render. The render can include the background color, which we can modify inside the background menu. Otherwise, we can decide to keep it transparent by activating this checkbox. The next option only works if we have a background. This one will show or hide the interface elements in the rendered image. The bottom options will allow us to choose the size of the render image. Tap on Export and this is what we got. For iPads in the top right corner, we can choose what to do with this image. Nomad will also save it temporarily inside the TMP folder. The last two sections are for resetting the settings of the interface, like changing the location of the tools or switching between right and left-handed mode. Resources like alphas or matcaps are stored separately and won't be affected by this button. The next button will reset the material library. This is the library saved inside the Material Paint menu. Our last trick today is not in this menu, but inside the Nomad icon. Tap on it and the app information will show up. On the top, we have the option to hide the user interface and only see the model. This is quite useful if you're screen capping or maybe recording. To bring it back, tap again on the Nomad icon and deactivate the checkbox. Alright, I'll see you soon with a new video in this Nomad Sculpt series. Happy sculpting! That's it for this tutorial. If you find it useful, make sure that you leave a like so other people can find it. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, as we are bringing out CG and illustration tutorials every week. Become a patron and access tutorial assets, bonus content, a private Discord, and more by clicking in the link below.